So this is 2 days after the water heater leaked. I was on vacation, but my neighbor saw it leaking, turned it off quick. But once things get wet, mold will start growing. So this was the top of my platform. A little bit of black showing there. When I peeled it off, we definitely have some mold growing underneath. The plywood underneath is saturated, so I'm going to pull this front piece off to see what it looks like inside there, because the other side of this wall is my laundry room. I want to make sure there's no mold growing back there. We peeled off the top, cleaned it good, sprayed it with an antimicrobial, opened up the front to get an interior look. No signs of any mold inside there, so that's good. So now we're just waiting for that wood to dry before we put some new drywall on it. And we'll be testing it with the moisture meter before we cover it. I'll leave the front open for a couple of days, but at least cover the top so I can get my new water heater back up there. This is the right way to do it when your water heater leaks. I find so many of these with water damage underneath them. I look behind the tank, there's mold on the walls behind it and under it. Much easier to clean it and do it the right way now. And for the do-it-yourselfers that don't know the tricks of the trade, when you have small jobs like this and you got to do 1 or 2 coats in a hurry, they have fast drying. Easy Sand 5, Easy Sand 20. You get about 5 minutes to work with it, so work fast. Or you can put another coat on 20 minutes later. So water heaters don't fail because they stop heating water. They fail because they start leaking. And leaking is caused by corrosion. This one is leaking where the gas valve is screwed into the tank. But what is in a water heater to prevent corrosion is a sacrificial anode. Screws into the top. These have a coating of zinc and other metals. Same thing they put on boat motors that absorbs the electrolysis that causes corrosion. As you can see, these are pretty long, all the way to the bottom of the tank. And this one is completely corroded, so it was no longer doing its job, and that is what inevitably led to the tank rusting. It is recommended that these get replaced every 2 to 3 years. So that probably would have prevented this from happening, and I would have gotten many years out of this water heater. And I was planning on doing it within the next few weeks, but it's too late. Unfortunately, the drain valves they put on water heaters are not very effective at getting out a lot of the big sediment. We've got some pretty big chunks here that normally would not come out, but I removed the valve. I've got about an inch deep pile of sediment and what's left of the sacrificial rod. So you want to flush them once or twice a year. Don't allow that stuff to build up. That's another thing that will help prolong the life of your water heater. So after installing new water heater, get off to a good start. Keep a service record. The easiest thing is grab a Sharpie and write it right on the tank. This way you don't forget when the last time you flushed it was, or when you installed it, whether or not it's due for an anode rod. Here we are 2 months later doing a follow-up. I decided to finish repairing the water damage in the garage and texture and paint, so I drained the water heater and I got this coming out in 2 months time. Absolute horrible water quality, and it will destroy a water heater if you don't flush it out.